is a daily English news program in Azərbaycan Television. With your host, BİRİNCİlik, with most important events of the day. On April 13th, an informal meeting was held between President of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, and President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, who is on a working visit to Azerbaijan. On April 13th, President İlham Aliyev participated in the new Vision for South Caucasus Post-Conflict Development and Cooperation International Conference held at ADA University. At the conference, with the participation of representatives of the world's leading think tanks, the head of state made a speech and answered the questions.
And during the Second Karabakh War, as you said, it was in front of the eyes of the international community how they bombed our citizen villages. And not only with ballistic missiles, they were bombing with artillery and mortars every day. The city of Tartar, which is a small city, 16,000 bombs were thrown on Tartar. They even bombed the ceremony of, on the cemetery, killing a family. They were bombing Barda, they were bombing Naftalan when they killed a family of 5. They were deliberately attacking our citizen villages, and they thought that they will stop us by doing that. We did not do the same. We never hit any village or any city. We hit only, yes, military objects which were in Hankendi, but we hit military objects. And using ballistic missiles on the sleeping city of Ganja was a clear indication of their barbarism, because that ballistic missile, it had a target. It was not by chance that it hit a residential compound. It was a targeted attack at night when people were sleeping, and not once, several times. And also what they've done after that, they said it was not them. Officially, Armenian officials said it was not Armenians who did it. But then who did it? Who? Ourselves? You probably know that they even wanted to put the blame for Khojaly genocide on Azerbaijan. They were inventing these stories and trying to persuade the international community that Azerbaijanis themselves killed innocent victims in Khojaly. And they did the same with respect to .U and Elbrus missiles.
The participants of the new Vision for South Caucasus Post-Conflict Development and Cooperation International Conference visited the military trophy park. Guests got acquainted with the military trophies obtained by Azerbaijan Army during the 44-day patriotic war. Assistant to the President, head of the Foreign Policy Affairs Department of the Presidential Administration, Hikmet Hacıyev, also informed about the Iskandar-M missile fired at Shusha. The conference participants were informed about the missile attacks by Armenia on the civilian population of Ganja, Verde and Tartar regions. President İlham Aliyev signed an executive order in connection with some measures regarding holding 4 matches, 3 groups and 1 quarter-final of the European Football Championship in 2021. According to the executive order, foreigners and stateless persons arriving in our country from May 1st to July 5th will be able to obtain visas at the checkpoints on the state border of Azerbaijan by submitting one of the following documents: an official letter invitation from the committee organizing the matches in Baku or the Association of Football Federations of Azerbaijan, an accreditation card or other documents confirming accreditation in accordance with the relevant rules of the Union of European Football Associations, a ticket or document confirming the purchase of the ticket for the match for citizens and stateless persons who permanently reside in the countries represented by the football teams participating in the matches in Baku. For foreigners and stateless persons working in Azerbaijan and who have passed the appropriate accreditation in connection with organizing and holding matches, it is not required to obtain a work permit. All the attributes that have turned into symbols of victory in the patriotic war, inscribed in golden letters in the victory of the Azerbaijani people, will be passed on to future generations. The military trophy park, opened in one of the beautiful corners of the capital, not only brings to the world community the essence of the victory over the Armenian invaders, but also demonstrates that the will of the people with great traditions and the spirit of victory cannot be broken. The military trophy park in Baku, inaugurated by the victorious Supreme Commander-in-Chief, President İlham Aliyev, will remain in memory as a historical, architectural and heroic complex demonstrating the strategic weight of the victory in the Second Karabakh War. This complex clearly reflects that the military equipment of the aggressor Armenia, which held our lands under occupation for 30 years and destroyed the material and spiritual values of Karabakh, was destroyed by the mighty Azerbaijani army. The complex, where the number of 522 military trucks of the so-called invincible Armenian army are collected, also accommodates a KAP anti-aircraft missile system, up to 150 units of heavy equipment, 272 tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, self-propelled artillery unit 2S-1 Carnation, anti-aircraft missile system ASA, and other exhibits. The demonstration of the wreckage of the Iskandar-M missile system, taken as military trophy of the enemy, which for some time became part of the anti-Azerbaijani propaganda of Armenia, once again proves the historical significance of the Iron Fist operation carried out by our powerful army. Look, these Iskandar-M missiles were fired by Armenians at Shusha. Where does these missiles come from in the Armenian army? This is visual evidence. It is evidence of Armenia's war crime, and we want an answer. How did this deadly weapon fall into the hands of Armenia? We have not received an answer yet, but we will get it. Let everyone come and see that Armenia was trying to destroy Shusha, our ancient city, with Iskandar-M missiles. They used it after we liberated Shusha. We have enough information. We are just waiting for an official clarification. This is another clear proof of the Armenian atrocities and war crimes, said President İlham Aliyev. Each element of the military trophy park reflects the courage shown by the Azerbaijani soldier in achieving victory in the 44-day war, clarifies the essence of the historic victory in the destruction of the aggressive policy of Armenia, which created the myth of its army, the destruction of its fascist ideology. The trophy park includes the territory that reflects the enemy's defensive position, a system of engineering obstacles consisting of 10 elements, including the anti-tank 5-meter wide and 3-4 meters deep ditch, mine area, anti-tank concrete supports and metal hedgehogs, barbed wire net on low supports, wire netting on high supports, anti-personnel mine area, tape-type wire fences over the trenches, which once again confirms that Armenia, which today seeks to appear in the form of the so-called peacemaker, actually did not intend to liberate the territories through these fortifications and impassable obstacles, but also made plans to seize the new lands of Azerbaijan. All the insidious designs of the enemy were destroyed by the patriotic spirit of the younger generation, the factor of unity of the president, army and people around a common cause. Armenia is the losing side, and its army has been destroyed, so it will not be able to recover for many years. From time to time, statements about war do not bode well for Armenians, linked with a sense of revenge. We will restore all the liberated lands. We simply must never forget the Armenian barbarism. We are a very kind people. This is our advantage, but at the same time, you cannot be kind to a barbarian. Some revanchist upstarts must not forget the power of the Iron Fist, and if it is needed, we will show the power of Iron Fist again and again. History is a great school for drawing conclusions. Armenia should analyze the reasons for the heavy defeat it faced in the 44-day war and draw the right conclusions. Armenians must understand that they are facing a people with great traditions, thousands of pages of heroic history, the state and its mighty commander, and insulting such a people is fraught with consequences. While the military trophy park is a place of pride for the Azerbaijani people and all Muslims, as well as friendly countries, it has turned into a place of shame for Armenians. On the eve of the war, announcing that soon our tanks will be on the streets of Baku, the Armenian side is raising a ruckus, calling the opening of such a park in Baku an insult to the Armenian people, declares that it will appeal to international organizations about the so-called hostility of Azerbaijan. However, it is too late. The enemy had to foresee what fate was prepared for them by the fact of the occupation of Karabakh. The military trophy park will turn into a nightmare for Armenians, who are delirious with the dream of reoccupying new territories, and for everyone who cares about Azerbaijanis, into a space of pride. The hysteria of Armenian Ministry of Foreign Affairs on the inauguration of military trophies park in the capital Baku and demonstration of equipment taken as trophies from Armenia and destroyed during the patriotic war of 44 days shows that the smearing efforts of this country against Azerbaijan have no limits. the Azerbaijani Foreign Ministry made a statement. A quote, "Azerbaijan liberated its territories maintained under illegal occupation for almost 30 years, with the right granted to it by the international law, and as a result of the patriotic war, ensured its territorial integrity at the cost of the blood and lives of sons of Azerbaijan. Certainly, as is widely accepted in the world practice, it is our moral right to immortalize this glorious victory through parades, parks, museums, and other means. As for the exhibition of models of Armenian servicemen who took part in the war in the park, there are cases of exhibiting models in military museums in many countries around the world. The message of this park and the compositions exhibited here is unequivocal. The great victory over the policy of aggression against the state and the illegal occupation is a celebration of international law. As for the Armenian Foreign Ministry's allegation of looting, hatred of people, the consequences of the purposeful policy of destruction and looting committed by Armenians at the state level in our liberated territories are before the eyes of the entire world. It is out of question for a country that has destroyed our historical, cultural and religious heritage, looted our natural resources, and appropriated the property of 1 million people for 30 years in validation of their fundamental rights to speak on another country's looting. A country which erected a monument to fascist executioner Qaregin in Yerevan, glorified international terrorist Monte Melkonyan, whose hands were stained with Azerbaijani's blood in the First Karabakh War, erected a monument to terrorist Ergonon Terilan, and cut off human head under his feet, does not have a right to speak on hatred against a human." End of quote. According to the combat training plan for 2021, approved by the Ministry of Defense, training exercises were held with the peacekeeping units. According to the Defense Ministry, during the training, aimed at increasing the level of professionalism of the military personnel, the contact, moral, psychological, physical, medical and special training of the servicemen was checked. It should be noted that the servicemen of the Azerbaijan Army are currently participating in peace On April 13th, a plenary meeting of the BİRİNCİlik was held. The annual report of the Accounts Chamber was heard at the meeting. Chairman of the Chamber, Rövşən Məmmədov, said that last year the control structures measures covered mainly the agricultural sector, public procurement, financial reporting, planning and execution of the state budget, as well as a report of the State Social Protection Fund under the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection of the Population. In total, 9 issues were included in the agenda of the meeting. 2,457 infections with the novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 2,002 people recovered after treatment and were released home. 34 people who earlier tested positive for COVID-19 died. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 289,601, with 253,762 recoveries and 3,978 deaths. The number of active infections is 31,861. To detect new infection cases over the past day, 14,254 tests, and overall 3,040,386 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan, the task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.